Manga-Waido.
My name is Yuki Takahashi. I'm an SE and I lead a hectic life every day. Good morning, Reika. I better get going.
Hey, have a good day at work.
That's my daughter, Reika. She's a quiet type, but she's a good girl.
Are you going to be late again tonight?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. The usual schedule, huh?
I suppose so. I'm sorry. As you can see, my wife Kanai is very attractive. Way too good for me. She can be a little headstrong at times, but I try to ignore that about her. I met Kanai in high school. We were classmates. She was from a well-to-do family and one of the most popular girls in school. I was totally the opposite. A complete nerd! All I was good at was studying, and I did that constantly. So much so that my classmates called me a bookworm. After high school, we went to a different college. But a few years after graduating, I met her again at a high school alumni party. To my surprise, she recognized me and started talking to me.
Hey, Takahashi. How are you? I heard you joined Waido Systems.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to be the new PR manager there, right? You know what? My company does business with Waido Systems. I heard it's super hard to get that position. I didn't realize you were so smart.
Right, thanks.
Hey, do you have a girlfriend or what? If not, I may want to be a candidate. And besides,
Apparently, she just broke up with a rich guy that she'd been seeing since her college days, but now she's single. She also said she was going out with these rich and handsome guys for so long, and she wanted to go out with someone different. Is she serious? Well, I have to admit, it's not unpleasant. As a matter of fact, I was in heaven! It wasn't long after that when I finally asked her out. It was mostly one-sided. I was totally under her spell.
If I'm being proposed to, I guess my dream has always been that it takes place at an expensive French restaurant. Oh, and the engagement ring can be something inexpensive, but when it comes to the wedding ring, there's one that I had my eye on.
Oh yeah? Okay.
And I sure would like some sort of surprise gift.
You sure got a lot of priorities. Oh well, I just have to work overtime a bit more. I started to work my butt off in order to make her happy. Several years later, I was finally able to propose to her and granted all her wishes.
Thanks so much, Yuki. This is what I've always dreamed of.
Oh yeah? I'm so glad that you're happy. Now that I think about it, rather than being happy, a feeling of relief was more like it. After we got married, I continued to work in order to make her happy. I fulfilled all her wishes. As a result, I was perceived as a super hard worker and continued to get promoted, but…
I'm home!
Oh, hey, how was your… did you go out and buy another handbag?
That's right. Pretty nice, huh? This is the latest design.
Didn't you just buy one last month? How many bags do you need?
I couldn't help it. I just had to have it.
We have to think about Reika's future too, you know? We should be saving for her college fund.
Well, that's why you're working every day, right?
Yeah, of course, but we're married. Marriage is a collaborative effort, you know?
Oh, come on. I'm sick of hearing that. If you want a divorce, no problem.
Wait, are you serious?
As a matter of fact, I have the papers ready just in case. Here you go, have a look.
She pulled the divorce papers out and showed it to me. Her signature was already on it. All it needed was mine and we were done. To be honest, I was flabbergasted. Despite the circumstances, the fact remains that I loved Kanai, and I insisted that I didn't want a divorce, but she just snickered. After that, whenever we had an argument, she would flash those divorce papers at me, but I would always relent and try to calm her down. Didn't want this marriage to end. Then one day…
Hey, guess what? I was just headhunted.
Oh yeah? That's great. Kanai has been working as a regular office worker for some time now, but recently she was recruited by a newly established venture business. They offered to double her salary if she would join, but I had my suspicions. After all, she is just an office worker, but she seemed happy and I didn't want to dampen her spirits. But her spendthrift ways continued unabated.
My salary has gone up, so I'm paying this myself, so don't give me that look.
Yeah, well, if that's the case. Actually, I would have preferred that she saved it for Reika. But at least she's not withdrawing anything from our savings account anymore. After about a year, Kanai approached me and said this.
A new apartment complex opened in front of the station. Manwa Tower Residence. Let's move in right away.
Tower? But this apartment we're living in is adequate for our needs. It's plenty nice.
Are you serious? I'm a career woman, for God's sake. I can't be living in this shoddy little apartment. Are you okay living here forever?
Pardon me?
Pardon me? Boy, you really have zero ambitions.
But come on, that place is not cheap. After that, I tried to talk her out of it, to no avail. But all she could see was the tower residence. Eventually, I just gave up and we ended up buying an upper floor of the new apartment complex. Oh boy, now I really have to work hard to keep up the payments. It was right about then that I was called into the office by my boss. I was asked to work on a long-term project down in Kyushu. The company plans to open a new office complex down there, and they needed someone to set up the computer system there. This would be a 6-month project. Of course, by accepting this assignment means I'm on course for a major promotion down the line, so I enthusiastically accepted the assignment. When I got home, I relayed the news to my family.
Oh yeah? Good for you.
I'm going to be gone for 6 months. Doesn't she care? I was a little taken aback by her uncaring attitude.
Dad, just don't work too hard, okay? You're all alone there. If you fall ill or something, we won't be there to look after you. We'll call you now and again, so…
Thanks, Reika. You don't know how much that means to me. I knew I brought my daughter up right. Her kind words were the only thing keeping me going. But once I arrived and got settled, single life wasn't all that bad. Kanai never called, and so I was free from all the verbal abuse. Work was tough, but I got to come home and relax and enjoy myself. It wasn't all that bad. After 6 months, I returned home, having completed all work setting up the system at the new office. But when I entered our home… What the hell is this? What happened to this room? All my stuff was pushed to the corner of the room, and the place was filled with Kanai's expensive clothes and handbags. Even my personal stuff, my plastic models, were nowhere to be found. Kanai, what the hell is this? Where are my plastic models?
Excuse me? That junk? I threw them out a long time ago.
Tell me you're joking. There were some rare items in there. How could you?
Oh yeah? Maybe I should have sold them, huh?
They were my treasures!
Oh yeah. Well, before you start having a fit, the divorce papers are in the living room drawer. Do you want me to get them?
You are unbelievable.
But I guess you don't have the guts to submit them, though.
Okay, if that's what you want.
Huh?
I ignored her and just started packing my stuff.
What are you going to do? Divorce me?
Yeah, that's right. After 6 months, I realized I was much happier without you.
Oh, really? Now you're Mr. Assertive, huh? Dad, can I come with you? What? What did you just say, Reika?
I suppose even my daughter couldn't stand being with her mother. Are you sure? Okay then, get your stuff packed.
You don't have to go with him, Reika. To be honest, I can't stay another minute with you, Mom. I was about to go nuts stuck here with you. Excuse me? Well then, get the hell out of here. I don't give a hoot where you guys go. Even if you come back here crying, I'm not going to let you in. Just don't forget that.
After we got in the car, I showed the divorce papers I took from the living room drawer and showed it to Reika. You probably heard me earlier. I'm thinking of divorcing your mother.
Yeah, Dad, I know. I think you should. You're not happy with Mom.
Are you sure?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry things turned out this way. With that, I went straight to City Hall and successfully submitted the divorce papers. Sure glad it was still open. That night, we went to a hotel and stayed there for the night. So, Reika, why'd you come with me?
Well, Mom was just treating you so badly.
Apparently, for the past 6 months, Kanai had some of her so-called elite friends over on many occasions. She was constantly going out with them and spending money like crazy, even going on vacation trips, leaving Reika all alone at home.
Hey, Mom, are you sure you're okay spending money like this? Dad's down in Kyushu working his tail off for us. Oh, don't worry about Dad. He'll never disobey me. What's life if you can't have fun, right?
Those 6 months living with her mother and seeing the person she was, Reika became totally disenchanted with her and her heartless treatment of me. While growing up, Reika had little affection for her domineering mother, always trying to get her interested in brand clothes and expensive stuff, encouraging her to learn upscale hobbies like piano or ballet. She grew to despise such things. I'm so sorry, Reika. I wasn't there for you. Must have been hell for you.
You did nothing wrong, Dad. It's all Mom's fault. She won't listen to a thing I say. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you would get divorced sooner.
Hearing that, I felt a sense of relief that I finally submitted the papers. The next morning, I sent a message to Kanai telling her that I had submitted the divorce papers and that my lawyer would be in contact with her later in the week. Right away, I got a call from Kanai.
What the hell are you doing? What are you going to do about this tower apartment?
Just put it in your name. I'm not living there anymore.
You really think I can do that? How am I supposed to pay rent?
I thought you were an elite career woman. I'm sure you can pay your own rent.
I can't believe you just went ahead and did this. I'm going to hire a lawyer too, you know.
Do what you gotta do. The following day, our lawyers met to discuss the divorce. But as we met, I noticed that it was just the three of us. Kanai's lawyer was not to be seen. When I asked, she said lawyers were way more expensive than she thought. She seemed more timid than usual. Despite this fact, we started the meeting.
I was just full of myself. I just thought I was better than you and you would obey me. Please come back. If you don't, I won't be able to live in the apartment any longer, so please.
After the past 6 months, I realized I was in a dead-end marriage. I recognized that I was living a phony life. I submitted the divorce papers because I wanted relief from all this. You're just a stranger to me now. I have no intention of taking care of you any further.
No, how could you say that?
Then she started crying, but I felt no remorse. All affection for her had vanished into this air. Because she had spent a large portion of their savings, she would receive nothing. We later learned that she had borrowed a considerable amount from her inheritance and thus been disinherited. As a matter of fact, she owed them money. As for that so-called venture business she was working at, the business sounds all legit and all, but it turned out to be a total fly-by-night operation, swindling elderly customers out of their savings. The owner of the company embezzled all the company funds and disappeared. The business immediately went bankrupt. And as for her getting headhunted, that was all BS. A friend introduced her and she got the job, that's all. Kanai was called back to her parents' place and is apparently working long hours to pay back her debts, under the watchful eyes of her parents. Reika evidently got a call from her.
Come on, Reika. Please, live with your mom again, like we used to. You'd be much better off living with your mom.
Oh, yeah, right. You probably want me to work some bars so I can support your lifestyle. You really expect me to go back to you?
I would never do such an awful thing.
I'm not so sure about that. But anyways, I have no reason to live with you. I'd rather be with Dad. See you around, Mom.
With that, she hung up. I was shocked but happy in a way. Reika grew up to be a pretty strong-willed woman herself. As for me, the 6-month stint in Kyushu and the successful implementation of the computer system in the new office was regarded highly by company, and I was promoted to area manager. My daughter and I live in a modest apartment downtown.
Congratulations on your promotion, Dad.
Thanks, Reika. Wow, what a feast! You prepared all this?
You bet. Made a cake, too.
That sure is impressive. I can't wait to dig in. Reika seemed way more bright and more energetic now. She even does the house chores and cooks. She's become indispensable.
I'll support you from now on, Dad. It's just the two of us now.
You got that right. I'm going to work my tail off. I may even become president of the company someday.
Dad, just don't overdo it too much.
Yeah, right. All I thought of was work all these years. Now I'm going to make my daughter my top priority. Maybe I'll take her shopping this weekend. With that in mind, I savored the delicious meal that my daughter had prepared for me.
Hello, I'm Kohei Miyazaki, and I'll be working with you guys as of today. I may be new here, but I can assure you, that I'll put my best foot forward and contribute as much as I can to improve business here. I'll be more than happy to get advice and tips from you. Thank you. My name is Kohei Miyazaki, and I'll be working at this company starting today. My new boss gathered everyone together so that I could give my introductory speech. And boy, I forgot what it was like to talk in front of a huge audience. I had butterflies in my stomach, and that feeling never gets old. I say the initial greetings went well overall, except there was this one particularly loud guy. Hey, what? I want to contribute and improve this business. Are you saying this place isn't a good place already, and that none of us contribute enough here? Hey there now, Mr. Otoya. Come on now. He glared at me with these malicious eyes as if to challenge me. I didn't want to start off on a bad note with anyone, so I tried to clear the air. Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. I made you feel bad about what I said. Please, let me apologize. I really am sorry. Whoa! Of course, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you, kiddo. Take that as my way of welcoming you to this company. I'm just trying to ease the tension in the room. The other guys around him seemed to follow suit and laugh along with him. But it was definitely an awkward, malicious type of laugh. I had a bad feeling about it. And there was the fact that there were also other guys who just went quiet and avoided eye contact with them. This weird vibe somehow felt familiar to me, and I think I'm about to see what's coming next. Sorry about that, Mr. Miyazaki. He's a very unique kind of employee here, if you get my gist, said my boss under his breath. And I just gave a slight nod. Huh. It seemed to me like that guy was a bit of trouble around here. Although I thought to myself, I better not wake the sleeping lion. And that's how I decided to avoid this guy called Mr. Iota as much as I could. It's been a few days since I joined this company, and I'd met some really nice people here. One of them, his name is Yuta Kobayashi. We are the same age and got along pretty well, and he's easy to open up to. One time at lunch, he came and spoke to me. Hey, so you know our company is a subsidiary of the Tanita Group company, right? Yeah, sure. So you know Mr. Iota, right? Well, he's actually the son of one of the board of directors here. Mr. Iota? Oh. You mean... Oh, that guy? Mr. Iota's evil grin in the background. Yeah, that guy. Mr. Iota actually works 2 doors down from my office on the same floor, so I've seen him every day. But since we work in different departments, I've never spoken to him directly, and so I don't really know who he is. He got his job here through connections, apparently. He's the laziest guy around here and has a big mouth, and acts like he's got authority around here. Well, let me tell you, that's only because he knows that his dad's a big deal to this company, so he takes advantage of that. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. I knew I had a bad feeling about him since the first day I saw him, including his little comrades that were sucking up to him. Our boss can't even do too much about him, though. Really? But he's the boss, right? Yeah, I mean... We call him the boss, but in reality, he's only the department manager, right? It's not like he has much authority around here. And besides... Besides what? Well, he's just trouble. There's no point in trying to stop him, or those other guys. Like, whenever we try to start a new project or something, all of them, They play all sorts of tricks and ruin it for us. They did it to me once, too. Seriously. It always makes me wonder why he's still working here. What good does he do here? You know what I mean? Wow. I had no idea how bad this guy was. Man, does that mean I'm one of his targets now? And I only just started working here. Or is he like this to all the newbies that join the company? I better keep an eye out for him now and see what this is all about. Then, after about a month of settling into my new job, one day I was getting ready to leave the office and head home. All right, I guess I'll be off then.
Okay, have a good one.
But then, that guy came butting in.
Hey! Hold up, you! Don't think that you can leave now! You've got things to finish up here! No, I don't think so. I've done all the work that I was supposed to do today. I can do the rest of the tasks tomorrow, so there shouldn't be a problem. What? You talking back to me? We've all done our work for the day, but that ain't the point here. We're all staying behind to do more work, aren't we? Look at us! But the only reason he was staying behind was because he hardly ever works when he's supposed to. All he does is banter with the other guys, and everyone knows that. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I'm going home. So, that's it, huh? So long as you're done, you think you can leave. Is that it? It's not even 5 p.m. yet, so don't think you can leave, all right? Oh, hey now, Mr. Iota. That's quite all right. Mr. Miyazaki's had to pick up his child from nursery, so that's why he's leaving now. I gave him permission, so it's all good. Let's just leave it at that, yes? That's what our child support system is for, right? He has every right to take advantage of that system. Iota usually works outside the office visiting clients and all, if he ever actually does. But so that's why he didn't know about me leaving slightly earlier every day. He only just noticed and he's having a go at me. How crazy is this guy, right? What? No way! I've never heard of a system like that! Well, that's perhaps because you're still unmarried and without children, so it doesn't relate to you. We've been told as managers to support our employees and fully make use of this system, okay? So please, take it easy on him, alright? WTF? If you want to take care of your kid, then why don't you just be a stay-at-home dad instead of coming out to work, huh? You're a guy and you don't even prioritize work? What kind of low-life loser are you? Hey there now, Mr. Uda. That's going a bit too far, don't you think? You're probably just a contract worker, and we don't need guys like you to waste our time here. Do us all a favor, and get the hell out of our faces! Well, like I said, I've done everything I was supposed to do today. That's all I have to say. If you don't mind, I'll be leaving now. Ha! Don't make me laugh. A guy like you can't do anything but be useless here. Who the heck do you think you are, huh? I left the office as I heard Mr. Iota's voice turn quieter as he kept complaining about me. And that was the beginning of it all. Ever since then, he started to harass me big time, and he would have something against me to say every single day. Good morning, Mr. Sasaki. Yes, good morning. Excuse me, Mr. Tanaka? Would it be alright if you could check this document? I'm off now! See ya! Oh, okay. A few of the guys just ignore me deliberately and talk behind my back. They're all Oyota's pet idiots. What? Oh, shoot! Where is it? I swear I put it here just a minute ago! Oh, where did it go? There were times where my document suddenly went missing, and my personal belongings went missing from my locker, too. And sometimes I got excluded from the mass emails that were sent to everyone but me. Of course, the main culprit of all of this was Iota. He was the only one who could manipulate everyone to work for him and do this to me. I'd always felt his evil eye around me. At first, I left it and got on with my day since it was always the same guys who were up to no good. But eventually, some of the good guys started to keep their distance from me. But even with all of that going on, Mr. Kobayashi was the only one who stayed friends with me. You lost your document? Okay, let me get you another copy, so hold on. The guys knew we were friends, so they started giving crap to him too. But that didn't affect our friendship. He's not only a competent guy at work, but a great guy in general. We grew close, and he's one of my best buddies around here. Hey, you! The white car parked out back. Is that yours? Iota suddenly spoke to me. Yes, it is. How come you ask? How the hell can a contract worker like you afford a fine car like that, huh? Did Daddy buy it for his little boy? Who do you think you are, You're nothing but a lame contractor here! Get out of here! Sorry, but I really need to get going. You little piece of brick! You better watch your back, you idiot! Then, one afternoon, a shocking incident took place. As usual, I left slightly earlier than 5 p.m. and went to get inside my car. And I was about to drive off when suddenly, Iota came running towards me. Hey man, don't leave! Boss told me you got a complaint from an important client. He says he wants you to go back inside and take care of it. Hurry up and come back inside, man! A complaint? From which client? Mitsuha Productions. The boss is real upset, so you'd better hurry, man. I mean, that really was one of my major clients, so I thought I'd better take care of it. Okay, let me just park somewhere. Hang on a second. Hurry the heck up, dude! We can't waste time here! This is a big-ass deal! They're so mad from what I heard! Look, if you want me to park your car, I'll do it for you. Come on, get out and let me take over. Don't worry about it. I've got you. I had no idea what the big deal was, but I took his offer and gave him the car to park and went back inside the office. Hey, what's up? What happened to you? Well, I heard that I got a call from Mitsuha Productions. Heard they were filing a complaint or something? A complaint? No. I don't think so. Hey, boss, did you hear about that? No. Not that I know of. That was the moment I heard a huge crash coming from outside. What I saw outside was a nightmare of a scene. My car had hit one of the lampposts at the parking lot. The hood of my car was smashed! Iota, who was standing close by, saw me and said, "Oh no! Oh! Whoops! What's going on here?" I mean, I tried to park your car. That's all I was trying to do, right? But you know, I guess I've never driven a car this fancy, so I think my hand just slipped. Whoopsie daisy. Your hand just slipped? Yeah, right. How can you crash a car like that? You went into the damn light post like you drove straight into it. Look, I'm sorry, okay? See? I'm apologizing. What more do you want, huh? My hand just slipped, alright? No way, that's a lie! I was just trying to help you out, man, alright? It wasn't deliberate or anything. Just out of kindness, you see? You can let this one go. Right, kiddo?
No! That's not true! That's a lie!
Claimed Kobayashi from behind, who had just come back to the office from visiting a client.
I saw it happen! Your hand didn't slip, I saw you! You drove directly into the lamppost, like Koei just said. I know you're lying, cause I saw it all with my own eyes!
What the hell are you on about, boy? What are you trying to say here? That I'm making this up?
I told you! I saw everything with my own eyes! I saw you crash into a lamppost, and I saw you with a grin on your face after it happened, too! You make me sick!
What the heck are you on about? You don't even have proof that I did it on purpose! If you want to make fake accusations like that against me again, I'm gonna make sure my father knows about it! And he'll take care of you!
Stop this now!
See? At least he understands.
No, Miyazaki! I'm not lying! I'm telling the truth, I swear!
I know, Kobayashi. So, Mr. Iota. So I don't have a dash cam installed on my car, but I do have footage recorded of the incident.
What? For real?
Yeah, I had some issues with my previous car, so I made sure to get something like that for this car. I can find out where the car drove to in all sorts, meaning I can find out what happened to the car too.
Oh, what? I'm telling you now. I haven't been driving for a while, so you know, it was an accident. I swear. You want money, huh? Is that it? How much do you want? I'll pay you for the car and we can settle this, right? It's your fault for driving a car like that anyway. Why don't you keep something that you can afford to upkeep?
Mr. Iota, you keep telling me that I'm a contract worker, but let me tell you, since you're so keen on status, I'm not a contract worker here.
What? You're not?
I've been sent here to work by the Tonita Corporation to investigate the business performance and identify any points for improvement in its operations.
What do you mean?
The business performance, i.e., revenue, isn't exactly looking its best, so we need to figure out what the problem is and how to bring it back to par. And that's what I'm here for. I guess you can say I'm kind of working undercover here. Of course, the boss knows, but it's only him and no one else.
Investigate? Really? Are you kidding me?
That's right, and thanks to you, looks like I've finally figured out what the biggest problem is preventing this company from being profitable. So I guess I've got you to thank for that. That's when I noticed Mr. Iota's breathing get heavier.
Well, whatever. You know who my father is. He's one of the board of directors here. He controls you. Once I tell him about this, you'll regret all of this.
Well, that's too bad, because in fact, this whole task was his idea. Your father told me to come here and investigate this. It looks like you're out of moves now, huh? If I were you, I'd be looking forward to the next company-wide announcement. I'm sure there'll be a few transfers here and there. And who knows, perhaps more people to get fired. Of course, your father will be sitting in on it too. Of course, after that, I made sure that Iota paid for the damage he caused to my car. I also conducted more one-on-one interviews with the other guys at the office and gathered more evidence to prove how much of a deterrent he was for the business. Naturally, he got fired. His father, was also caught on several accounts of fraudulent dealings with the subsidiary company and other illegal activities. So after a few months, he eventually resigned and left the company too. As for my good friend and colleague Kobayashi, I recommended him and gave him a high evaluation, which meant he got a promotion and is now working at the head office. And he loves his new role.
Man, I can't believe this. Thank you so much, Miyazaki. I'm stoked that I can work with you, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Me too, man. Me too. I have no doubt that he'll continue to be my friend and on my side whenever I'm in trouble. Of course, that goes for him too. I'll be there for him if he needs me too. Nothing can beat having a great friendship, eh?
My name is Takuma Ito. I'm 38 years old and unmarried. I live by myself in a city apartment. However, I'm seeing a woman with the intention of getting married. The other day, our parents met each other. I'm living my best life right now. It's almost too good. That's how busy I am. I'm a cardiovascular surgeon at a specialist hospital.
We have a code blue. Patient is a 65-year-old male, high blood pressure, previously admitted for an aortic aneurysm.
Back pain, right? Could it be an acute aortic dissection? Prepare a CT! Work is endless, and there's no room for mistakes. When I go to the call room, I sleep like a log and barely dream. But I don't regret becoming a doctor. That's what I thought, until that day. One night, a large man complaining of chest pain was brought into the ER. It seems he's been drinking. 38. Same as me. Ueda? The patient was my high school peer, Masayuki Ueda. As soon as I saw his face, horrible memories of him bullying me flooded my mind. Back then, Ueda wouldn't bully me personally. He was simply a member of the bullies and would grin and watch as I suffered. But from my perspective, all of them were bullies. I wished so many times that they would all rot in hell. I conducted the minimum number of tests and watched Ueda lying on the bed, thinking to myself, back then, I think I hated every day and wanted to disappear from the world. He was in a critical condition, but not so much that required operating on him without conducting thorough tests. After doing what had to be done, we had to wait for the results of the tests. That night, having secured a moment of sleep in the call room, I had a dream for the first time in a while. My high school self stood in the darkness, crying out, "This is your chance! Take revenge! You can't forgive him!" Ueda's operation date was set for the day after tomorrow. The next day, I got an opportunity to speak with Ueda, whose condition had stabilized. Ueda, it's been a while. Ito! Is that really you? You became a doctor? Hey, keep your voice down. You shouldn't exert yourself. With a weak voice, Ueda began to update me on his life. I listened to him, observing his condition, and composed myself sufficiently to have a calm discussion with him. The next moment, Ueda's expression suddenly darkened. What's wrong? No amount of apologizing could forgive what I did to you. I'm truly sorry. Ueda, I was astonished. Ueda voluntarily began talking about how he used to bully me. I only realized once I became an adult and a parent that I was a horrible person. It's fine. It's in the past. Plus, you weren't like the rest of them. No, I was the same. And it makes no difference that I'm now a policeman. That's right. Ueda had now become a policeman. As I left Ueda's room, I was feeling a complicated mix of emotions. Someone responsible for my childhood trauma is now a beacon of justice. The present is the present, and the past is the past. I knew that. And yet, I felt a tightness in my chest. In the depths of my soul, I could feel my high school self suffering in pain.
Dr. Itu, you seem a bit pale. Are you feeling all right?
After attending a conference on Ueda's operation, a nurse called Yumi Morimura came up and spoke to me. Yeah, this Ueda patient,
Shall we discuss this in a different room?
Having changed locations, I told Yumi about my past with Ueda. I haven't told people yet, but this is my fiancé, Yumi Morimura. I told Yumi everything, including what I've been dreaming about. I feel like a failure. I'm thinking about revenge in front of a suffering patient. The more I spoke, the more pathetic I felt, and I could feel my eyes filling with tears.
Don't worry. You're not a failure. Stop blaming yourself.
Yumi comforted me and cradled me in her arms.
You too must hug your high school self who's crying inside your soul.
Yumi.
I know it's been hard, but you're okay now. Tell him that you no longer have to take revenge.
You're right. I studied my breathing and began to feel myself calming down. There was no need to overthink this. I am a doctor. My job is to do everything I can to help the patient in front of me. That's it. Thank you, Yumi. I'm going to give it my best.
I'll be by your side. Together, let's help you, Yude-san.
Yes! My mind was set. At least, that's what I thought. I explained the procedure of the operation in detail to Ueda and his family. It's not a simple operation, and I can't say it's 100% safe. But I do this type of operation every week, so don't worry. Got it, Ito! Thank you! My life is in your hands! I'll do my very best. I nodded confidently to Ueda, who looked worried. Ueda had an aortic dissection, a condition in which the inner lining of the aorta tears, allowing blood to flow into the wall of the aorta. We had to carry out an artificial blood vessel replacement surgery. It wasn't a simple procedure, but as I told Ueda, I was used to doing this type of operation several times a month, and with success. I calmed myself and proceeded with the operation as always. However, it can't be! The operation lasted 10 hours. After finishing, I went to speak with Ueda's family, who were waiting outside. There was a lot more bleeding than we expected, but we were able to manage it. The operation was a success.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ueda's only son, Shunsuke, was wiping his tears. I think he was trying to thank me. I felt a deep sense of relief. There were some complications, but I overcame my doubts and successfully completed the operation. However, a few days later, I received news that Ueda's condition had worsened. Sepsis. Bacteria had entered his bloodstream and spread all over his body. He was on the verge of multiple organ failure. Ueda was placed in the ICU, and I called out to him many times in my mind. Come on, Ueda! Come back to us! I, Yumi, and all the staff members did our very best to look after him. However, a week later, despite all our efforts, Ueda died. What went wrong? There was unexpected bleeding, and the operation took 10 hours, which was much longer than we planned. It's impossible to deny that had increased the risks of the operation. If only I'd focused more and shortened the operation time. If only I'd noticed and managed the unexpected bleeding sooner. Or had my negative thoughts towards Ueda gotten the better of me? As I sat spaced out in the relaxation room, Ueda's son Shunsuke approached me.
Doctor!
Shunsuke-kun! I braced myself. It was only natural he'd want to vent his anger towards me. However...
Thank you so much for looking after my father. My father was deeply touched after the operation.
Huh?
He said it didn't matter that it was me. Ueda did the very best he could. He was a true professional.
I couldn't believe Ueda had said such things. Shunsuke told me that Ueda had told his family about how he used to bully me. Talking about his past like that was by no means necessary, and must have required a lot of courage.
He said you really gave everything you had, and that he respected you for it.
I see. I couldn't find words to say. The time came for Ueda's body to be transported out of the hospital. I joined the family to pay my respects. Preparations proceeded quietly and solemnly. I was once again overcome by an overwhelming sense of powerlessness. There was no way we could have treated the sepsis. Both Yumi and my other colleagues reassured me it wasn't the fault of the operation, but it was I who couldn't save him. My high school peer, who I'd met after 20 years, and with whom I'd finally made amends with. Just then, Ueda's wife approached me.
Dr. Itu, thank you very much.
Please don't! This is my fault!
No, You should not blame yourself.
Ueda's wife kindly smiled at me.
My husband was always fighting with himself.
With himself?
Yes, until he came to this hospital and met you.
Ueda was troubled by the fact he'd become a policeman.
Whenever he'd drink, he'd say, I'm unfit to be a policeman.
He felt guilty about having become a policeman, despite once being a bully. Ueda, so you were also suffering.
But getting you to operate on him helped him overcome these thoughts. He said joyfully, Itu is the best. I want to be like him.
Watching Ueda's wife cry, I too became unable to hold back the tears.
Doctor,
His wife extended her hand to shake mine.
thank you for saving my husband's soul.
All I could do was bow my head. The staff and I looked on as the car taking Ueda's body drove away. The sensation of shaking his wife's hand stayed with me for a long time. I should have been able to save his life. These are the times when being a doctor is hardest. Burdened by the weight of handling human lives, I feel beaten up and like my heart is about to break. But nevertheless, I raised my head. Ueda's wife said that I saved his soul. But in reality, perhaps he saved mine. I must live for Ueda and work hard to help as many patients as I can. As I watched the car drive away, I made a promise to myself. Watch me, Ueda.
I'll be on my way then.
Alright, take care. My name is Shinichi Takano. I'm a regular office worker. My wife, Mika, works as well, and leaves the house every day to go to work. I, on the other hand, work from home a lot. I do the housework and take care of the children and stuff. We get along well, and our children are growing up fine. We didn't have any problems. However, we've been a bit busy recently, and I've been feeling tired a lot of the time because of that. The reason was the house next to ours. The house belongs to me, since I inherited it when my father died. My mother lived there until recently, but she's old now, and finds it difficult to get around, so she moved to a nursing home. No one uses the house anymore, so we decided to tear it down. It was built over 40 years ago, and out of repair, and it's not like I had any plans of using it either. So my mother didn't oppose me tearing the house down at all.
Do whatever you guys want to do with it. I'll leave it to you.
She said. And so, we got busy finding a company that would tear the house down for us and stuff. It was last week that the house was torn down, and the lot became basically empty. The only thing that we left was the concrete garage. It's finally over. Mika, sorry for causing you so much trouble.
Don't worry about it. Anyways, it looks like your mother's enjoying her life in the facility. I went to visit her recently and she talked to me like she was having so much fun there.
Yep. It's thanks to you since you're the one who found that facility. I'm really grateful. Things started to settle down, and we finally started to relax, when a car I had never seen before started parking in our empty lot. What's that car? Does it belong to one of your acquaintances or something, Mika?
I don't recognize it either. I wonder who it is. I've never seen it around here before.
So it's unauthorized parking then. And to think that things finally started to settle down. Whose car is this? I kept a watch over our empty lot from the second floor while doing work, when a woman around my age wearing flashy clothes appeared. I got out immediately to confront her about it. Hey, this is private property. You can't just park your car here.
Huh? All I did was park my car here since it was an empty lot.
No, but this is my property and...
It's not like you're using it, right? All I did was make use of all this empty space. Is there anything wrong with that?
Just what is this woman saying? It doesn't matter whether we're using it or not. This is private property, and what you're doing is illegal. Do you understand me? Don't park your car here again! I was pissed since she didn't seem the least bit sorry for her actions.
What's your problem? What a petty man.
She said, and left. I watched her car drive away. I thought that she wouldn't come again after my warning, but... I thought wrong. What? Again? She kept parking her car in our lot illegally, even after that. I tried setting cones and blocks to stop her from parking, but she just avoided them and parked her car anyways. A fence would solve the problem, but I didn't want to do that since we might want to build something here in the future, and a fence would block any construction equipment. I told the police about my situation, but they just said that they'd keep an eye out and didn't actually do anything. If things keep going on like this, then maybe I should hire a lawyer and sue her, I started thinking to myself, when one day, I saw the woman again from my second floor window. She was about to get in the car, so without hesitation, I got out of the house to have a word with her again. Please, just stop already! How many times have you done this? Even when I go to the office and leave the house, you park your car here, don't you? I saw you on the security cameras!
Shut up! I park my car here since I have stuff to do at the school nearby. I'm part of the PTA. I'm doing good for society, so stop bothering me all the time.
Apparently, she was the parent of one of the kids at the nearby elementary school, and she parked the car here whenever she had work to do for the PTA. I immediately complained to the school about what she was doing. And then the next day...
Because of you, the homeroom teacher got mad at me! Pay me an alimony for this!
She screamed at me through the interphone. I just ignored her, of course. After that, she decided to get revenge by telling the other mothers in the PTA that they could park their cars in my lot. Huh? The next week, when I took a look at the lot, I saw several cars parked there and suddenly started feeling dizzy. I waited there for the owners of the car and asked them to explain, but the mothers who returned were confused as well. Why are you parking your cars here?
Today was parents' day at school, and Fuji-san said that we could park our cars here since the lot belonged to a relative of hers.
Apparently, that bitch's name was Fuji. I told them that Fuji had nothing to do with this lot, and I never allowed her to park here. And then they apologized, saying that they were never going to do this again. I was relieved, since unlike Fuji, they seemed to be regular people. When she came back again. The bitch that apparently didn't understand Japanese.
What did you tell the other mothers? Because of you, they kicked me out of the line group. Do you think this is a joke? Pay me an alimony.
My head started to hurt listening to her scream like that. This is all your fault, isn't it? If you keep parking your car here illegally, then I'll have no choice but to take drastic measures. So you better prepare yourself.
What do you mean drastic measures? Have you heard of non-involvement in civil matters? I can't be punished over something like this.
Even after all that, Fuji parked her car in our lot again the next week. Fine. If that's what you want, then bring it on. I'm counting on you, Mika.
Yep, are you sure about this though? We're the ones who might get sued after this is over.
I'll take responsibility for anything that happens. Just trust me. I'm so pissed that I don't care what happens anymore.
Okay, let's give her a surprise then.
That evening, Fuji's scream was heard throughout the whole neighborhood.
Yo! What is the meaning of this? My car! What did you do to my car?
Some of the other neighbors came out to see what was happening. I went out to see her as well, trying not to laugh. Oh, sorry. It was a bother, so I had it moved out of the way. I'm glad we had somewhere good to put it. Yep, I asked Mika, who had a license to operate a crane, to put Fuji's car on top of our garage. The crane we use belonged to the company Mika works at, by the way. Mika and I went to the CEO to tell him about our situation, and without saying a word, he gave us a thumbs up. Of course, we moved her car without her permission, and it was probably damaged a bit when we moved it with a crane, which means that it was definitely possible for us to lose if we got into a civil dispute. But I knew all that beforehand, and still decided to do it. That's how pissed I was at Fuji.
Do you think this is a joke? Hurry up and bring my car down. Do you think you can just get away with something like this?
I'm the one who should be telling you that. Do you think you can just keep parking your car here, even though I already told you several times to stop?
Shut up! Just hurry up and bring my car down. I'm in a hurry.
If you pay me for the damages you caused by parking your car here illegally all this time, then I'll bring your car down. There are 17 days you parked your car here since I installed security cameras. It's 20,000 yen for each day, so that means a total of 340,000 yen.
Huh? There's no way I'm paying you. You're the one who's gonna pay me after this is over.
Screamed Fuji, and then the people gathered around us started whispering amongst themselves.
Your husband is currently abroad on a business trip and won't come home until New Year's, right? What does she mean by he? I saw it too.
The voices of the people gathered gradually started getting louder. And
So she's cheating on her husband?
people started testifying against her. And when I looked at Fuji again, her face was already pale. Oh, that reminds me. I have footage of you and a man that seemed to be a host get into the car together. I did think that he looked too young to be your husband, but apparently it wasn't.
No, it's not like that.
I think it was last week, Monday or Wednesday. I have all the files saved, too.
No, stop! Don't tell my husband! I'll give you money! I'll never park my car again, so forgive me!
Fuji ran off, and so I thought she had fled. But apparently, she went to the convenience store to withdraw money from the ATM. Because she returned with a stack of bills, saying, "This is enough, right? Can you also promise not to park your car here ever again?"
I'll do anything, so please, just erase the footage you have of you and my boyfriend getting into the car together!
After that, Fuji signed the contract I gave her, while crying. I did it in front of the people who came to watch, and some of them were taking pictures or videos. But apparently, Fuji was too concerned about other things to notice anything. She signed the paper while her makeup was being washed away by her tears.
This is good enough, right? Hurry up and bring down my car and erase the footage!
Yeah. You heard her, Mika!
Yep.
As soon as Mika brought the car down and unhooked it, Fuji got inside and drove away. Finally, it's over, I thought to myself. But since so many people were watching us then, there was no way her husband wouldn't find out. Rumors spread, and eventually, they reached her husband's ears, apparently. He also found out about how Fuji was parking her car illegally in my lot. And so the next month, Fuji's husband came to our house to apologize. My wife must have caused so much trouble. I'm going to divorce her now. I'm taking the kids with me abroad as well. I'll also make sure she never appears in front of you guys again. So no need to worry about that.
No, I don't want to get divorced. Forgive me. You're the only one I love.
Shut up! I brought you here since you said you wanted to apologize as well. But what is it with that attitude? Apologize to them!
I'm sorry. I'll never cause you trouble again, so convince my husband not to divorce me.
Why do I have to solve your marriage disputes? I guess she really just does have a completely different way of thinking. Sorry, but I have no intention of saying anything like that. This is your own doing. I never saw Fuji again after that. I heard that her kids left the local elementary school as well, so it seems that her husband was telling the truth when he said that he was going to bring them abroad with them. I heard afterwards that Fuji-san would always leave her children at home with just some instant ramen to go see her boyfriend. I'm sure her children are thankful for how things turned out. I hope we never become like them.
Don't worry about it. I never cheat on you, and you never cheat on me too, right?
Yep. If I did, you'd probably not just divorce me, but swing me around with a crane as well.
I'll spin you around and throw you far away.
You're kind of scary, Mika. I don't doubt that you'd actually do something like that. I hope the two of us can keep getting along from now on. And I hope nothing like this ever happens again.
My name is Kino Masako. I'm currently in the 5th grade of elementary school. We got our tests back today. While my other classmates are getting sad or happy at their scores, I just stared at my 100 points and said, "A perfect score! I'm sure even Mom will be happy with this." After going home from club, I went straight to the kitchen where my mother was. "Mom, look, I got a perfect score on my last test." I handed the test over to my mom, forcing myself to smile, but
That test was easy, so of course you got a perfect score.
What? She gave me back my test completely uninterested.
I mean, academics are the only thing you're good at, so it's only natural that you study a lot.
What? But you said you praised me if I got 100 on my next test. That's why I studied so much. I didn't know how to react to my mother's cold words when, from the front door, I heard,
I'm home.
It was my sister. There are 4 people in my family. Me, my mom, my dad, and my sister Shizue, who's 5 years older than me. Shizue just got home.
Welcome back. Today's dinner's your favorite, Shizue. Rotten. You just finished with your end-of-term exams, right?
Welcome home, Shizue. You must be tired studying until this late.
My father, who hadn't said a word to me until now, stopped reading the newspaper and welcomed Shizue back.
These are my test scores. Wow, you got over 95 on all subjects. You even got perfect scores.
You're such a gifted child, Shizue. I'm so proud of you.
Nice job as always.
Why? It's always my sister. Ever since I could remember, my parents never praised me for anything. Even when I got good scores on my tests or in competitions. In fact, they basically just ignore me. My sister always got much better grades than me, though. Not only that, but she was pretty as well. She's the only one my parents love. To them, I'm just a bother. Not only that, but I bet even my sister doesn't like me. She barely even talks to me. I hate all of it. I said to myself once I returned to my own room. No one heard me, of course. 3 years went by after that, and it was now fall of my 2nd year in middle school.
Do you think this is a joke, Masako?
My parents barged into my room screaming, their faces red.
What is the meaning of this?
Why are all of your subjects 3 or below on your scorecard? It's almost all 2s. Your teacher told me you weren't doing well in school. What makes you think you have the right to embarrass us like this?
I didn't have high expectations of you like I do for Shizue, but at least get average scores to not embarrass us.
I was already used to their insults by then. Is me getting good grades going to change anything, though? No matter how hard I worked, and no matter how much I tried to make them happy, they never loved me. If that's the case, then there's no point. I had already given up trying to please my parents by then.
Why can't you be a bit more like your sister?
I don't care anymore. You're no longer our child.
Fine, I get it.
I heard people shouting. Did something happen?
I tried to leave my room when I ran into my sister who just got back from university. My sister got into a medical university after high school, and my parents were so proud of her for it.
It's nothing, Shizue. I brought some cake earlier. Do you want to eat some? Okay.
My sister glanced at me before going out, but she left my room without saying a word. It seems I was alone in this family. Time went by, and before I knew it, I was 16. I was a miserable little high schooler. By miserable, I mean without promise, boring, poor. Yep, that was the kind of person I'd become. I was called into the teacher's office by my homeroom teacher, Goto-sensei, that day.
Kino, you haven't been listening during class recently. You don't do your homework either.
But I am that age where kids want to enjoy themselves, aren't I? Speaking of which, I need to go to karaoke with some friends after this, so could you hurry up?
Kino, listen, you're just too...
Like always, I just ignored what he told me, nodding my head and giving short replies so that I could get it over with quickly. But...
the scores on your end-of-term tests in particular, they were all single-digit. At this rate, you won't be able to graduate high school, Kino.
I stopped chewing the gum in my mouth and reacted to the word scores.
What are you going to do?
I don't need to turn things around. I'm stupid, so it's impossible for me. Not just that, but no one has any expectations for me. Working hard would just be a waste of time and effort. Everything you say is so boring, teacher. Try to come up with a more interesting topic next time.
Kino!
I left the teacher's office before he could finish talking. It was 9 p.m. when I got home after going to karaoke with some friends. My sister was waiting for me outside the house. Huh? Sister? Come to my room, Masako. What? Why? Come on, just come to my room for a moment. I didn't know what was going on, but I could tell that my sister was being serious, so I did what she said. As soon as I entered her room, she made me sit on her desk. I'm gonna be your tutor from tomorrow. Huh? What is this all about so suddenly? Not only did I get scolded by my homeroom teacher, but now even my sister was nagging me about my grades. Just what in the world is going on? There's no point in me studying anymore at this point.
There's something I've been wanting to tell you.
Huh? Said my sister, and then she whispered something in my ear. I was surprised at what she told me and didn't know what to say.
You understand? You'll study hard studying from tomorrow now, won't you?
I gave an unenthusiastic nod. My sister's Spartan tutoring started from the next day. We do it every day until I graduated high school. Even when my sister had to go to work, she would give me worksheets to do and things to read and grade them when she got back. When she didn't have to go to work, she'd sit next to me while I studied. I wasn't allowed to take a break for even a day. I remember wanting to give up several times. I can't anymore. I don't even feel like getting up from the desk anymore. What are you doing? You aren't done, are you? Let's just call it a day. Fine, but tomorrow you're gonna have to study for 10 hours. What? Really? You have to make up for your lost time today. Now's the time you need to really pull through. Or do you not want things to change? I'll keep going. As you can see, my sister was extremely stoic about tutoring me, but she was also a really good teacher. Thanks to that, my grades kept getting better and better. By the time of my end of term exams for my 3rd year, I was able to get over 90 in all subjects.
Nice work, Kino.
Well, I am being tutored by my extremely talented sister.
But this is thanks to your own hard work. Keep it up. I'll support you in any way I can.
Thanks to my sister's tutoring and Goto-sensei's support, I was able to get into a school I wanted to go to. I've come so far from when Goto-sensei worried about whether I'd be able to graduate high school or not. My parents didn't care at all about what I did after graduating. They barely even responded when I told them that I was going to move out. They even signed the necessary papers for me to get into college without reading what was written inside. I don't care where you go to after this, just try not to bother us anymore, was what Mom said to me after signing the papers. Well, it's not like I wasn't used to being treated like that or anything. And then 10 years passed since I graduated high school. Today was such a long day. I finished with work and arrived at the station nearest my apartment. I was walking home when my phone started ringing. It was from my sister. Hello, do you have time right now? Yep, I'm about to get home. You see, I want to introduce some clients to you that I think you'll find interesting. What do you say? Huh? Who is it? I listened to my sister's explanation. I couldn't hide my shock. What do you say? Will you do it? Of course, I do my best no matter who the patient is, I said firmly, hanging up the phone. About 2 weeks later, these interesting clients my sister told me about came to my clinic. Welcome. What? Masako, why are you here? Long time no see. Shizue told me what was happening. You have breast cancer, it seems.
Why are you wearing a lab coat?
Shizue told us that she knew a great doctor, so we had her introduce us to them, but... Yeah, I'm the doctor she was talking about. My last name changed since I got married, which is probably why I didn't notice it was me. You got married? My parents got mad at me for not telling them about my marriage, but I just ignored them and continued with my explanation. Thanks to Shizue's stoic study program, I was able to get into a medical school with a scholarship. I became a doctor after graduating. It's possible to become a doctor without spending too much money, you know? Well, Shizue's the one who taught me this, though. Anyways, I'm the doctor that works here now, as you can see. Shizue helped you with this? Why? She also paid for part of my tuition, and I lived with her during college.
She didn't tell us anything about that!
Of course she didn't. She never invited you guys to her apartment either, remember? Do you two really think that Shizue was on your side? Yep. The day Shizue told me that she was going to start tutoring me, she whispered this into my ears. Why don't we give those two what they deserve together? What? Apparently even she hated how her parents treat us so differently since childhood. Apparently she always felt bad about how her parents treated me so badly and had always been wanting for a chance to help me. To think that's what she was thinking about all this time, I had no clue until then. You need to get a good job in the future to show those two that they were wrong. You're smarter than you think, Masako. You can do it as long as you put an effort into it. At the time, I wasn't very confident in myself, so I kind of just nodded. I wonder what my life would be like right now if my sister hadn't said that to me then. It makes me shiver just thinking about it. My parents didn't know how to react hearing how Shizue really felt, but then suddenly they turned to me and, "But please, Masako, help us! You see, Dad lost his job since there was a restructuring at this company, and we currently have no source of income. Not only that, but we still have to pay off the loan for our house. We can barely get by as it is, and now I have breast cancer. We don't have any more money. Please, could you lend us some?"
We're family after all, right?
I guess. All right, I'll help you guys.
Really?
That's my daughter. Of course I'm gonna help you. As a doctor, of course. Huh? Let's get through this illness together. I'll do my best. I'm not gonna lend you money, though.
But Shizue suddenly started being cold towards us as well. We have no one else to rely on.
This is the end. We're gonna go bankrupt. I ignored my mother's words of desperation and started explaining to her the treatment. After that, my mother's cancer was removed completely thanks to the treatment. It seems that she now goes to a local clinic once a month to undergo checkups. According to my sister, they weren't able to pay off the house loan after that and went bankrupt, and so they now live in a dirty little apartment. My father, who got fired from his job, apparently works part-time now, but he obviously doesn't earn as much as money as before. It seems that they can't even eat 3 meals a day anymore. It's not like it doesn't make me feel bad hearing about this. I'm even willing to lend them a hand if they apologize for treating me so horribly as a child. But apparently, the two of them don't even consider what they did as wrong. They really are pitiful people, I guess. Seeing what happened to them afterwards made me believe that karma actually existed. They deserved what they got.